I gotta speak to the viewers real quick because 2 videos ago, I was telling you about what a man should really want, seek, and need. And I don't believe I got to finish that topic. And so y'all were left on the cliffhanger, not really knowing what it is that you should view. Now, my phone is about to die. My camera is about to die. So I'm going to make this short and quick. Probably like 5 minutes at the most. But what I really wanted to say is that women will tell you one thing. Don't believe that shit, man. You got to be yourself. You got to be who you are.
Be yourself, please, because we'll find out if you're not immediately.
Like I said, they will find out.
Very quickly.
They will find out. So if you were lame and you decide you're
I'd
not,
rather if you're lame and if you're broke and if you have very low standards. Like, I'd rather you told me that from jump. Like, I would still have so much respect for you than if I have to find out myself. Then it's like, it's even more unattractive. Like,
right.
it's 2024. Like, if you're not all the way together, that's fine. But like, you being honest, that's a big testament to your character.
Right.
So
Women they're not expecting you to be all put together unless they all the way up there. And when I say all the way up there, by their standard, they think they all the way up there. So that's going to be your BBL queens. That's going to be your breast done queens. That's going to be the women who got all that other stuff done and think that they're the top of the top and they're driving in Lamborghinis. And they with the old 70-year-old.
that's going to be the women that have their physical appearance on T and their money on T. Okay.
I don't know if the money's on T for sure.
For them.
But what I will say is that they're definitely being financed, and it may not be by someone that they like, but it's okay because that's their sugar. You know what? Oh yeah, come on now. Now the only place that I'm seeing that is more so in Colombia or in Miami, Florida. So you're not really. So you're not really seeing that too many places in the world, but let's be 100. That's definitely out there. With that being said, again, you have to be yourself. You have to be confident in who you are as a person. I decided to get financial freedom because I didn't want to be beholden to a job. So a job is not my priority. A job does not even equate to half of my income, and I'm so grateful to be in a position to where that is the case. You know, I don't have to pay my own mortgages. So any money that I make is additional on top of my VA, on top of my investments in the stock market, on top of my investments in my Series I bonds, on top of my CD accounts, on top of my business external investments. Okay, let's talk about it. So with that being said, I think what has always made me stand out, one is physical attraction. You got the 6-pack, and when I say 6-pack, it's really a 4-pack because you know I got the 4-pack. But the 4-pack has always made women attracted to me. And then I think when I was younger, women just liked me because I seemed like an older guy. I don't know why they thought I was an older guy.
Like older in age.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And so when I was in middle school, I was the older guy. When I was in high school, I was the physically attractive guy who was also playing sports. When I was young all around, I was just a badass kid. And so they just liked the bad boy. And so when I got to college, I was the playboy. I honestly didn't want to settle down in college. Why? It's because I knew I wasn't going to stay in New York. I knew I wasn't going to stay in upstate Albany. And so for me, it didn't make no sense. I'm not trying to take you with me. I'm not a hopeless romantic. We're not going on these blah, blah, blahs. So I asked one of my friends who I actually grew up with. She's a female, and she had this boyfriend. And they were dating in college, and I'm like, he lives in Connecticut, you live in New York, so who's moving where? And she couldn't answer that question. She couldn't answer the question. And so for me...
Oh, they were doing long distance at the time?
Nah, they were in the same school, but like after school, who's moving where? You know?
Oh, okay.
So for me, it was like, I'm not even gonna entertain that. I had girls dropping me off in college. I was getting late to school because of it. Like I could have took the bus and been there early, but out of respect, I would wait for them to drop me off type shit. Real shit. Why would I be late for no reason? Like, if not for respect.
Okay.
So they wasn't really cutting it for me.
That's great.
I had a lot of people's girlfriends while I was in school. So it is what it is, They wanted something different. Don't be mad at me if you're one of those guys.
Wow, he called me out.
But what I will say is,
I'm calling you out.
if you're always 100% with yourself, if you're always truthful or honest with yourself, you're gonna be fine. And one thing that I will ask you to change though is the hesitation. Don't be hesitant. Like I said, I only text girls 2 responses: hey and hey beautiful. And that's just the beginning response. After that, now you can get some conversation from me if you're really like quality. And when I say quality, that's more personality.
Check the last video for quality.
That's more personality, because when I say hey beautiful, I don't want you to respond, to be honest.
What?
I don't. Yeah, like I want you to be like, "Oh, that's not enough. You didn't
want
try
them to
hard
say
enough."
that.
And
You
I'm
want
not
them to
I'm
be
not
like, "What the
responding
fuck
back
is
to
hey
that,
beautiful?"
to be honest. I'm not responding back to that. Like if you're not like, "Hey," if you're not like, and even if you hit me back with "Hey," I respect the fact that you at least responded. You feel me? Like you're not looking to be that, "Oh, you didn't really try to hit me with a pickup line," or I'm not doing that. I'm not about to craft a neat line for your ass. Okay? Okay? So like if you're gonna mess with me, it's because you saw something in me that you really needed to get done, that you needed to invest in. And so guys, definitely don't be hesitant. Know what you want and don't compromise. Don't think too much about it. These women, they're either gonna like you or they're not. The way I look at it is, if I say hey and you don't respond positively, that's because you weren't truly interested. You wanted to give it a chance and you wanted me to dance for you. I'm not going to dance for you. Okay? So a lot of the women that are in my life today, they are not necessarily dancing for me because I'm not looking for a circus, but they are people who respect me enough to where they're going to act and move accordingly. I grew up with traditional values. I grew up in a household where women respect men. And so I'm not going to be disrespected by any woman just because you think that you can get a lot of men. You do not put me in the same box as these useless people that you used to mess with. You will treat me better. You will treat me different. Okay? And so wherever it is that you're at in life, understand that I'm not beholden or I'm not under your metrics. I'm not under your standards. I'm moving at a different standard. You are adjusting to my standard. And if you don't meet those standards, you can go. All right? And if you end up being above my standards, if you end up being someone that I have to take seriously because you provide something that was missing, then I will shower you with love, affection, and care. I will shower you with the things that you have been wanting from me the entire time. And you understand, so many women are willing to play that role. So many women are willing to do those things for me. And it's not because I have a lot of money. It's because I am assertive. It's because I'm a man's man. It's because I've always been the type of guy who is going to stick to my boundaries. And then I've also solidified myself to where I only do the things that I want to do. So I've made my money in order to not have to acquiesce to someone else's desires. I decided to get into real estate. I decided to get into stocks so that I could have financial freedom. I decided to have all this money so that I can go on dates and have my pick of the litter. I decided to do X, Y, and Z, and I still spend less than most men. I only spend $200 a month on dates, if that. Right now, for the last 4 or 5 months, I haven't even spent that much money. And so a lot of you guys are spending $600, $500, $400 on dates.